Radio. You know what it is, Rubber Coat Radio every Tuesday right here, myself, the short one. We got Dizzy Day.
Hey.
It's Holiday.
Yo.
And you just listening to some smooth sounds. Actually, they weren't very smooth. It was pretty hard.
Bumping.
Pretty hard tracks from Rae Diamendz.
Rae Diamendz.
Word. And also, shout out to our special guest, BENI JOHNSON.
Hey, what up, though? What's going down?
So, BENI Johnson. Everybody seems to know you around these parts that I call home, Calgary.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you've definitely pioneered the way and made a voice for the artist, the spoken wordsman, the producer, the fashion designer, anything that is culture, anything that is local. Ladies and gentlemen, our guy, Mr. 10 at 10, our guy, Mr. Oh my God, we can keep going, Humble Giants. Where do you want it? BENI Johnson!
Hey.
That was a fantastic intro, man. Thank you for that.
Well, first of all, I don't know why we have not done this a long time ago. So I'm super excited. And I was actually just thinking, is next year going to be 10 years?
Yeah.
10 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So for the people who don't know, and I mean, if you don't know who Mr. BENI Johnson is, like there's something wrong with you, but please explain to the people who possibly may not know who you are, what you do in the community for YYC.
Well, I mean, I'm aware of many hats. I'm what you would call a culture cultivator. You know what I mean? Like I like to cultivate several aspects of culture. I'm a brand builder. You guys probably know me, obviously, as the founder and director of 10 at 10, also known as TenX Music and Culture. I'm an MC. I do A&R work with artists.
He's a rapper.
I'm an MC on hiatus, what we'll call that. I'm on hiatus right now, so none of that. But I'm just chilling right now, man. And obviously, my work side is like still graphic and web design. So I'm a creative through and through, man. I just keep it funky.
I have had the pleasure to work alongside you. It's definitely been a blessing. You've been inspiring not only to myself, but to so many other people. And, you've created such an amazing platform, for artists and people to explore and have their chance to really express themselves. And, even just the lifelong lessons that you've explained, the meetings, the hard work, everything that you put into what you do, like it is forever appreciated and always grateful. And the only reason why I wasn't rocking any 10 at 10 gear today is because I was feeling my vibe. But I was like,
oh. It's all good. It's all about it. It's not even about the logo, man. It's about the vibe. If we can set it off, I'm happy.
Yeah. So what do you got going on right now? Like, are you in your new office?
So we got a new office starting April 1, but we're not really in it because obviously we're in quarantine right now. So everyone's just kind of laid back. But the new office is beautiful. I can't wait till we're able to kind of show it off and show people, how, 10X has evolved from just showcases to now like an actual true platform for artists and support and resources and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting time for sure. But this whole quarantine has been really good for just relaxing, kind of resetting, because we used to do like, I think last year we did 45 events. The year before we did 68 events in the year. So for us, it's always go. The thing that does suck about quarantine is we were going to link up with Red Bull this year to do some crazy things this summer. So that does suck, but it doesn't really matter when you're talking about the potential for what's going to come. And just taking the time right now to really reset, relax, rebuild some stuff, and then come out like 10 times harder so that you guys in Vancouver actually know what we're trying to do for Canada as a whole.
That's dope. Yeah. That's really dope.
So for the Vancouver people out there, he has a platform called 10X, which is almost like, emotions, what Floetic does with the community out in Vancouver, bringing on artists, giving them a platform. But how does
on 10X, a whole different scale?
Yeah, but how does 10X work versus like, because, I remember back in the day, they used to have like DMX, all these artists would get a chance to jump up on stage, perform for a little bit of time, and then they had to be sent off. But it was like all these big names were doing it. It even was a DVD after a while. I remember this.
Are you talking about Lyricist Lounge? Maybe.
Lyricist Lounge.
Yeah, that was something like that. That's way back from New York, right there. That's OG hip hop status right there. Yeah, that's dope.
So explain to us TenX, brother.
I mean, well, TenX is now like the umbrella company, but 10 at 10 began as 10 artists at 10 p.m.
10 p.m.
for 10 minutes. And the biggest thing that you guys can understand about a local rap show is it's shit. You walk in and there's like rappers on stage, they bring their CD to the DJ, everybody raps for 15, 25, 35 minutes, there's no kind of order. And that's when we started 9 years ago. So we tried to create a system of more professionalism, just a better environment where people can come, enjoy themselves, enjoy an artist. That artist is on stage for 10 minutes. So if they're performing for 10 minutes and they do a good job, you're like, yo, how can I see more of your music? And if you don't like their stuff, they're only on stage for 10 minutes. So you can go grab a drink, come on back, right? So it's just a very simple concept to give everyone a chance to touch the stage, kind of build a fan base, develop their craft, and see what it's like to kind of just be in front of different people. And obviously be around like-minded people. And this is before Instagram. You know, this is really, when we started, Facebook didn't even have photo albums yet. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Wow. Yeah, it's wild.
I mean, I've personally worked beside you on some projects prior to all of this, so I understand your work ethic and the passion you put into things that really, really means something to you. And there is one thing that I know that I can't even bear to really get into without real emotions, but earlier this year, the brother that sits beside you with that jersey there passed on, and I know you share very deep feelings with that man. Like, you openly speak about him. Kobe's like an inspiration of some. Speak to me about Kobe's, my friend.
Listen, man, Kobe is not only like, he's like a mentor, a guy that I never even got to meet, but he showed me how to live a passionate life and live a life of purpose. And when you commit to something, how you want to commit through and through. You don't have 1 foot in, 1 foot out. The mama mentality is about sacrificing everything and giving your all. Because at the end of the day, when it's done, and we can all say, that guy left his ass on the floor. Regardless if you like the guy or not, you know he busted ass doing what he had to do. So for me, it was just like a black role model that, you know, being a sports athlete, being like the kind of coolest guy on the planet from when he was 18 years old, all the way to an old man who's now a girl dad, or who was a girl dad, you know, showing you how as a man you can raise, you know, a magnificent family and shift from one of your passions to another passion and being a family man. Like just an awesome inspiration for me, man. Kobe's my guy, man. He's my guy.
That's what's up.
Did you cry?
Yeah, are you kidding me, bro?
I just wanted to know if you shed like real tears.
Hell yeah. No shame in that. Trust me. Like sometimes, like a month after, like it would still hit me. Like I'd just be doing something and I'm like, yo, this man was 41, guys. Like that's like probably 10 years, 12 years removed from all of you. Imagine if you only had 10 or 12 years left to do whatever it is that you need to do. And this guy already reached like the mountaintop of so many things, 5 NBA championships, all these awards. He's about to start an education program. He's coaching his daughter. He's doing all these things for the WNBA, and man's is gone. And he was only 41, and he lived multiple lifetimes in only 41 years. So it makes you be like, yo, shit, am I doing what I need to be doing in my time here? Am I with the people I need to be with in my time here? Like, sometimes it's just like sitting there, I'm like, yo, his daughter was 13. She didn't even, what were you doing at 13? I don't even remember what I was doing at 13. So like that hits me sometimes. I'm like, damn.
That's that real, and you know, that is that real. And speaking of your passion towards things, and one of our homies that we spoke about earlier today, Marty, Mr. Halfcut, you guys have a group, Humble Giants. Was that the name?
It's a group on hiatus. We haven't done music for 3 years.
I know you haven't done music, but before you guys left, you had done some really big feats with the name, with the group, and one of the things was a festival that South by Southwest. You guys managed to get yourself into there. Could you please give me the experience of that? Because not a lot of people get to really experience that. And being an artist, there and what that's like?
Man, South by Southwest is like entering a whole new world. Like, you can be in your city, you can go to shows and concerts, you can do whatever you want to do in that aspect. But once you are now part of something that literally every major artist in North America attends and performs at, and you are one of those people on that bill, it shifts your mindset about what it is that you actually need to do. Because everybody that's there is now dope. So now what separates you from the next guy? And it shows you a combination of things like your work ethic, what kind of stuff that you have out, obviously your marketing, how you present your music in the first place. I mean, after we performed and did our thing down there, we met a bunch of different contacts, managers, all that kind of stuff. We were just like, we got to redo our whole thing. And that kind of set us back anyways, because we were just like, we're not even playing the game for real right now. Like, it's really, really crazy how once you're around that much talent, now it's no longer just about talent. Now it's about your intangibles. It's kind of like the NBA. Everyone in the NBA can out-hoop 99% of the planet. But why can we still watch the TV screen and be like, yo, that guy's ass? No, he's not. Like, you can't bucket on that guy. But at the same time, it's about confidence, and it's about all the other stuff that comes with it, you know?
Do you remember I took you to the airport?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I took you to the airport when you were going.
Oh, for that show, eh?
Yeah, when he was going, he was leaving, you know, he was all excited. I had my phone in his face, and I'm like, so Benny, how you feel?
Yeah, it was a good time, man. Honestly, like, it's just really dope to see, you know, what kind of work that you need to do to be on that stage. I remember, like, Anderson .Paak was there, and this was Anderson .Paak, this is 4 years ago now. And he was on stage, and he's talking about, like, yo, I used to come to South by, you know, 5 years in a row. This is 5 years. And all these other 4 years, I used to drive down here in my bus, you know, for 3 days. And I'd stay in, like, hostels and stay in my bus or whatever. And now this year, I'm rocking this big stage. And that's 4 years ago, right? Like, everybody's just grinding to, like, get seen. The talent is still there. It's just, you know, how can you put it all together? And that's the magic part of being an artist, man, is really your intangibles.
Marty, our boy Half Cut, says his favorite part of that was the ciphers.
Oh, trust me. So they got this place called 6th Ave, and it's filled. There's probably 150 venues just on this one avenue. So every single place, like, one spot is country, next spot is metal, next spot is rap, next spot is R&B, next spot is heavy metal. It's just bars, nonstop, just music, and they all got their windows and doors wide open, and they're just bumping music outside. So literally, if you love music in any way, shape, or form, just being on that strip, you got your CDs in hand, because at the time, people still got CDs. That was 4 years ago. People still had USBs were popping out a little bit too, but so everyone's just kind of chilling there. And then, yeah, of course, everyone's trying to put on. So you got guys busting rhymes over here, a guy with a boombox. You got guys literally with a drum set, just like doing live drums. So everyone's just entering these ciphers. Marty entered a whole bunch of those too. Ones under the bridge, all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Hey, shout out our boy Half Cut. He got mad bangers too. Make sure you guys go listen to it. We should make him one of the song of the weeks. That's for sure.
Bam.
Wow.
So Benny, I have a question.
Oh.
Since I left you a couple years ago, you know, if people didn't know, I used to co-host alongside this amazing man. Yes. You've expanded, and I had the opportunity to come and host again with you. So yeah, that's a whole other segment of the 10 at 10 showcase. Tell everybody what's going on with that.
Well, the biggest thing, man, is, like, initially when we started here, probably everyone in Vancouver, you guys could probably say that, you know, when you think of Calgary, you probably just think of country or Stampede.
I get that all the time.
Right? That's probably what you think about. So, I mean, initially it was just about having a hub for hip hop. Once a month where we can go there, feel like ourselves, wear a backwards hat, put on some sneakers, like, feel like you could be a hip hop individual. And obviously as time, like, increased and things changed, like, nightclubs were now allowing hip hop more regularly, so that became less of a thing. But our mission became a few years ago to just now push hip hop culture throughout the city. So we'd like to do outdoor events, barbecues, live platforms, things like that, to just push more hip hop in the city, So now when we're just doing one showcase a month, we're expanding to 2, 3, 4 different events, micro events all over the place. And the whole idea and premise is, how can we do that at multiple things at the exact same time? And as you're doing that, of course, obviously the internet's getting better, social media is getting stronger. So now people are like, yo, can you post my music video on your page? You guys got to have a decent following. So can you post this? So now I need this online presence to match our on the ground presence. And again, for you cats in Vancouver, like, we got to give you guys a reason to check for a Calgary artist versus, you know, just building up locally here, right? So the whole idea and the premise was, how can I create a team that can do things digitally, do things live in multiple locations, and then also build out some artist relations and artist development stuff. Because ultimately, once we have the platform here, now we have a lot of artists that require the development to actually utilize that platform. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, the team is expanded, because we're trying to do all these things at the exact same time, because we don't have the infrastructure here. And I know you guys have some of those struggles in Vancouver as well. I think a lot of cities have it. So if I'm a local artist, and no matter what market I'm in, if I don't have an immediate exit, which is music, radio, urban radio, which is the biggest thing, that's what Tekashi 69 is talking about between the Ariana Grande thing. None of the direct link to radio in my genre, I already can't be successful in that region, right? And it has nothing to do with like people supporting each other and liking music on Instagram. That means nothing. It's about, you know, the overall economics of music. Can other people have success as a manager, as a distributor, as an agent, as a showrunner? Can I be successful and do this as a full-time job? You guys just recently got Breakout West, and before you had Pemberton, but with the population that you have, you should be having so many more events, right? But you just don't have them because the economics aren't there. And it's the weirdest thing, because we all love hip hop. This is a hip hop based show. Everybody listens to hip hop. It's on commercials, it's on TV, it's everywhere. But the economics aren't even in our pockets, and it's the worst thing that sometimes we just completely skip over. And without that, it's going to be very difficult for any small market to truly like do it big. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, what do you suggest? The hip hop world today, what would you suggest?
To be honest, man, I think it's very much like you guys like follow basketball, right? It's just about following. I think what you can do is work where you are, right? And work with what you got. So artist development, I think, is the biggest thing, because when an artist pops and he blows up, wherever he blows up, you find out where he's from later. You know what I mean? Like, it's not about saying that I represent this city and this is where I'm from and this is what I'm doing it at. It's just about, are you working with other creatives and people that actually want to take your stuff professionally and take it to the next level? Because we all know MCs or singers or producers that are dope, even DJs that are dope, but they just don't have the opportunity to be seen or to develop. And if you guys watch basketball or NBA, you guys know Pascal Siakam, Toronto Raptors. This guy, 7 years ago, this guy was in Africa. He only started playing basketball, 8 years ago now. He only started playing basketball 8 years ago. But how can you take this 6'10" African and get him to become the most important or most like improved basketball player on the planet? And it's because of artist or athletic development, basketball development. And it has nothing to do with like where he's from or what city he reps. It's about the development that he got to work with, and then the right eyes got to see him, and then he got to get onto the platform that was of the highest caliber.
Very true.
So for me, it's artist development. That's the biggest thing. Like, it's great that there's multiple soundboards and places for people to have their music heard. But without like a major live radio station in your city, you guys probably aren't listening to radio when you drive your car. You're probably just listening to Spotify, right? So getting on Spotify playlists is good, of course. Getting on iTunes playlists is good, of course. But those still only do certain things. It's usually about, how did I hear about this artist?
Yeah, where did you get reading them and stuff?
Right? So there's just about multiple ways of attacking your artistry through marketing and through other things. But ultimately, artist development. If you're dope, you're dope. And that means if you're singing on your own IG Live, someone pops in and be like, yo, you're fire. I'm sending you to this guy, this guy, this guy. I know this, and this. And the word eventually spreads on. Dopeness will always be found. You just got to stay dope and get dope and maintain your dopeness.
So since I was with you, we were at Commonwealth, and then I came back into the city, and you started doing a show at the Rec Room, and it was with youth. So when did that start? How did you get into that? Where was the inspiration with that? And because I know that you've been talking about, focusing more on the youth, and you've done a lot of things like the basketball tournaments and stuff like that, and a lot of different things. But how did that showcase come?
Well, I mean, when we're all like in high school and junior high, man, we play music. What do? We rap. We rap in the shower. We rap when we're driving with our parents. We rap when we're playing and going to play basketball, playing soccer, or whatever. Like, the artistry is in youth. Literally, when you're in high school and you got shit to do, you do your homework, maybe, but then you just kick it with your friends and not do anything. All the energy is 18 and under. Because as soon as you start getting into college, responsibility starts. And then as soon as you start becoming an adult, even more responsibility starts. And you can't actually attack your craft as much as you want to. And if you didn't spend enough time kind of building dope enough talent, you're kind of just like, like, you know, you kind of just do it as a hobby, whatever like that. But when you're young, you got like 100 people that are ready to like any single song or video that you have. You have everybody just trying to find who they are in life, trying to find their passion, trying to find their purpose. And we also had like tons of kids always hit us up on some, yo, I want to perform, but I'm not 18. So naturally, we're just like, yo, we got to extend down to the youth to give these guys an opportunity to get on stage. So we made it an open mic. And because we're at the rec room, we came up with the name Wreck the Mic, you know, and it turned it into kind of a battle type of atmosphere. So if you just perform one song, and if you have the top song of the night based on the judges that are in the building, you get $100, you get some notoriety, and then obviously you're incentivized to want to perform next time. So just keep it in the youth, man.
It's fire.
That's what's up.
Yeah, because see, this is the longest I've ever seen your beard before.
Trust me.
Or like your facial hair.
It's grizzly right now. Look at this. I need my barber, man.
Well, let's get into the game. And before we do, hey, shout out to you and the rest of the crew for Rewind. You know the Rewind series.
Yes, sir.
Another great thing that's happening out there.
10 years this year for Rewind. Rewind's 10 years, man.
10 years for Rewind as well this year?
10 years this year for Rewind, and then 10 to 10's 10 years next year.
Wow.
Every Rewind sold out, giving you nothing but pure old school hip hop, R&B, soul. Got the dancers setting the vibe, like literally packed. How many? Like 2,000, 5,000? How many people can that venue hold?
1,350, but who's counting, you know?
There you go.
Yo,
so yeah, it was a thing.
I was speaking with Alv. He said you guys had to split the night into two. It was so big.
Yeah, man. So like, it's an enigma, man. Like, it's like, I say 1,350 because it's one of these things where we literally have not planned for this, right? It was one of those things like, let's do this old school party. Let's have 22 music video screens playing all this music. Let's get the fly dancers out here. Let's create a vibe. And literally just took, you know, the city by storm, especially the Asian community. Our Filipinos hold us down heavily in that. And I think like, the lore of Rewind and like people's older brothers and cousins and stuff like that go into it means that when we drop it online, literally like in 48 hours, it sells out. So I have homies who in the past 10 years have never come to Rewind. Because you know us colored folk, us black folk, we take our sweet ass time to buy tickets for anything. And so they never caught tickets. And they're just like, oh, what? You've been doing a party for 10 years? I'm like, fam, this shit sells out. I can't even explain to you. And we weren't even doing posters for 5 years because it was just like, let's try to make maybe like sneak online that we're going to have a show. That's how we were trying to do it. It's crazy. LV, Seasick, and Ryan Holtzway, big time. And Drew Atlas, our host, of course, host the most.
Okay. So, we like to play a little game called Pet Peeves.
Okay.
And it's pretty much to allow our audience to get to know who you are just a little bit.
Okay.
You don't drink, so we're gonna drink for you. But
my people always hold me down. That's 11 years this July I haven't been drinking.
That's good.
That's good for you. That's amazing. So okay, you have to tell us 3 pet peeves. They can all be correct pet peeves, but one of them has to be the right answer. You don't tell us what it is, we all guess, and then at the end you reveal your answer, and whoever gets it right, they don't have to drink, but whoever gets it wrong, they're gonna have to drink. Hi.
Okay.
So tell us 3 pet peeves.
Yo, Betty got the drink up like, he ready.
How about people who don't do nothing but always got something to say about it?
Okay.
What about people who leave their dishes in the sink after they eat? They just leave it there. And people who call me Benji instead of Benny J.
I already know the answer to this question, so you guys go first.
Alex.
I'll go with the last one.
The last one, Benji?
Yeah. Fooling people's names is rarely ever funny.
Okay, Ray.
To annoy me, like fuck off.
I'm also gonna go with the last one too, because I hate when people say my name wrong. So I feel it.
How do people say your name wrong? What do they say?
Rochelle. It's Rachel. You can't read. You can't read.
Oh, I hate that.
Dizzy, what about you?
Yo, that just broke me down. I'm sorry.
Rochelle.
They call me Rochelle. It's clearly Rachel. You read it. Oh man, I'm going with that last one because my name is Dele, but in school they would call me Deli, to the point where I just sit there and let the teacher say, Deli? 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 First day of class, you know? Fuck with them like, I don't know who you're fucking talking to.
And I know that it's the last one because I personally have got into arguments with other people about your name, and they're like, oh, you mean Benji? And I'm like, listen, okay, it's not Benji. And when I told him, he's like, ah. So you please reveal what the correct answer is.
It's all of them, but it's definitely the last one for sure.
Hey.
No drinking for anybody, but I think
I really love it.
I don't get on camera enough and tell people just my name. Like I try to stay away from that, to be honest. I just produce and let things happen and let people have the limelight. So it's funny that 10 years plus in it, people don't even know my name because I don't even say it. That's super trash.
Crazy.
Yo, Benny, thank you so much for joining us. Tell us what you're doing. Where can people find you? What do you got coming up? All of that.
I'm still on hiatus and still burrowing away. So if you want to follow what 10 at 10 is about and what we have going on, just follow 10 at 10 Calgary. That's 10AT10 Calgary. 10 at 10 Calgary on Instagram. That's the best way to keep it locked. You can follow my personal account as well. I don't post too often. I do in my stories, but.
And I appreciate you a lot too. I'm not trying to just jump in there, but any single time I've ever had any kind of life question, I come to Benny, and you've always taken the time to sit there to talk to me, to coach me through it. Even sitting on the side of the stage, you're asking me my questions, making sure you're reminding me, being like, all right, Tash, how do you want this artist to be introduced? You got to think about this. Every single moment that I've ever spent with you, even playing basketball, we played on the league together, all of that stuff has been, every single moment of it, you've always given your all to everything. And so you really are an extraordinary person and have a big place in my heart. And I love you forever.
Respect, girl. Woo! That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's the big hug.
All right, it's getting dusty. All right, welcome to Cook Radio each and every Tuesday right here. Myself, the show.
Hey.
Miss Holiday.
Yo.
Jump back in the mix with Rae Diamendz, but a big, huge special shout out to Benny J.
Shout out to you guys for holding down in Vancouver, for having this platform for artists. I've seen you guys do a bunch of things, have a bunch of artists on here, and you're really just getting started, man. I love it. I see the potential. I see you too. Calgary, Vancouver connect.
Hey.
I love it.
See it.
Love. We'll do more. Peace. Love.